I've been up all night studying. I slept a little bit. I mean, just to give you all the information I have about myself. Including that bit. So, where's my coffee? That's the first question I have. Let's forget about that. And let's focus on this. Fake news. Who rules the roost, or who has ruled the roost for a very long time? How does it all work? Why, Victor, did you go from listening to Rage Against the Machine and Black Eyed Peas and social justice, because I'm still an advocate for people being treated fairly. Obviously, it's horrible to treat someone unfairly and not give them a shot. Or if they can't take the shot because this is the way the world is, it's not just bootstraps all the time, to treat them fairly according to what they're doing. In other words, are they robbing banks? Okay, well, that's not cool. You know, are they hurting people intentionally? Other things we don't understand about their life? You know, you have to leave it open to let's find out. All right, enough of that. Let's back off of that, because there's room for both. There's room for both. I celebrate both because I have friends that are all kinds of, and they're all good people. There are people out there that my friends and I, groups that we don't like. It has nothing to do with race, creed, or whatever. It has everything to do with the individual and the group they represent. Just like I don't like hardcore fundamentalists. Let's give that example. I don't like hardcore fundamentalists, okay? There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, so fake news. Where does Trump get all this stuff? Hedge fund traders. The difference between why are hedge fund traders utilizing fake news, and why is a majority of news outlets fake news? During COVID, even before that, boiler rooms. Let's go with what I just said, but we'll go back to boiler rooms. Before that, call centers. Fake news after COVID. I think it was 1 in 4 news stations shut down, and the ones that didn't shut down were already fake news. Fox is fake news. Sorry to tell you, it's owned by leftists. Oops. Well, how does that work? It's intelligence. It's smart people. A car salesman's not going to come at you, a ravenous wolf. Hello? Come on, man. This is sales 101, manipulative sales 101, crony capitalism 101, the difference between crony capitalism and genuine capitalism. And I'm going to get to all that. The difference between providing value and taking the piss. Let's get back to the boiler rooms. Fake news. Hey, call center, Wolf of Wall Street. This is going to be the next best thing. The bionic leg. New management changeover. The fundamentalism, the crap. I'll pretend I'm the buyer, because he's really smart. I'm sorry. I mean, everyone's dumb, including myself. So I'm not going to have a go. Hey, what are you talking about? This financial company's in the crap. Wolf of Wall Street. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, oh, no, absolutely. And I agree. And, you know, haven't you been in the crapper before? I mean, we all need a chance. Appeal. I'm appealing to them. I'm appealing to them long enough to get their attention again. Well, that's true. Putting the onus on me, myself. Creating demand for myself. I want a chance. Okay? I want a chance. Well, how do I get my chance? Well, this might be my chance. You know? And we're all you're kind of like them, aren't you? I mean, you're kind of like, you want your chance. And that's why you're here. That's why you called me. Okay? This is a social justice of sorts. The small guy. Come on, guy. The small guy. The small guy, bro. Yeah, I'm a small guy, too. Well, I can relate. I was a small guy, too. Until I found this company that's going to the moon, brother. Put me down for X amount of shares. Fantastic. Next. We don't have that today. We have Reddit. Oh, Victor, you having a go at Reddit? No, I'm not having a go at Reddit. You don't have to have a go at Reddit. These things are not hard line. This is the problem with people on both or any side. A lot of people, and it's understandable, think in hardline fashion. The extreme capitalist thinks in a hardline fashion. The extreme socialist thinks in a hardline fashion. The middle thinks in a hardline fashion. Fake news. Why did I seemingly go to the right? Because I didn't. Fake news. Reddit. A stock promoter gets on Reddit. He doesn't have to. No one on Reddit has to be on the inside scoop. That's not how these things work. You just push it a little bit. And you create a large enough post with enough marketing, in terms of marketing, whatever that means for Reddit. I'm not a Reddit guy. To draw people in, and the next thing you know, they start writing. So let's just pretend I'm GameStop. And I want to short. And I want the market price to go down, because it goes down, I make money. Yeah? Oh, yeah? Yeah. And then Wall Street Bet goes in and goes, okay, let's look at this, let's look at this, let's look at this acronym. Penny stock investors that are any good will look at certain acronyms: time of day, ease of entry, volume. They're not looking at the news. The news is a portion. It's a portion of it. Well, if it's fake, how can you trust it? See, this is that hardline thinking. Doesn't matter if it's fake. Sometimes you want it to be fake to make profits, because you're able to see the direction it's going by looking at Reddit posts. And a gigantic majority of them are saying this is bad news. And then you look, and sure enough, it's being shorted. And then Wall Street Bets comes in and says, okay, but there's not enough volume to really short this. And we've got XXXX. Let's pump it up, take profits, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So the guy that was shorting it is going, oh shit, now he's in a squeeze. It's going up. How's it going up? Because people that understand fake news understand how to push that stock towards the upside, because they understand looking at volume, ease of entry, time of day. Okay? Time of day, what does time of day have to do? Everything. What does ease of entry have to do with it? Everything. Liquidity. What does time of day have to do with anything? Everything. I'm getting to how this relates to everything else, because I'm going to go from micro to macro. Penny stocks, hedge fund traders. It's the same game, guys. Time of day. How much volume do we got? Okay, blah blah. How much can we put in? Blah blah. Okay, how many? What do we have on our team that can lift this towards the upside? And they created a squeeze. They sold shares, et cetera, et cetera. What does this have to do with fake news? What does it have to do with hedge fund traders? What does it have to do with political? Everything. Because when hedge fund traders do it, they do it in a very large volume. I'm going to get to the political part. They do it in a very large volume, millions of shares bought on by billions in investment. So they'll come in and they'll do the same thing. Sorry, there's someone literally screaming that can't just speak calmly. And I have major... Okay, so I'm going to have to pull through. Hedge fund traders come in and they say, okay, we can't just push this stock towards the upside, because these are large volume shares that we're dealing with. And we've got to work this thing, because if I'm going in, I need to be able to come out, right? If I bought 2 shares, I'm going to need to be able to sell 2 shares to who? A buyer of 2 shares. If I go in, I've got to be able to come out. And if I'm going in like this, I'm rocketing in, and there's not enough buyers, I'm a majority of the shareholders. So who am I going to sell my shares to? So now, what does this have to do with fake news? I said earlier in this video, when COVID happened, and even prior, they were having a harder time with this prior, so they had their investments their investments were smaller and had a cap on it. 1 out of 4 went out of business. News sources went out of business. Hedge fund traders bought those up. Now the rest of them are also fake news. Okay. So they utilize the fake news for, what does this have to do with political? Okay, because companies are based on, a lot of companies will tie into political ideologies or just fake news. Outbreak in mosquito infestation, mosquito repellent, blah, 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 whatever it is. There's a company that backs it. And there's someone that's looking that's going, yeah. And there's like, okay, there's a few mosquitoes and this guy got bit in the neck and okay, well, outbreak of mosquito. And I'm not saying that stuff doesn't exist. It doesn't matter if it exists. This is the idea behind being slick. It can exist or it cannot exist. It's irrelevant. But that doesn't exist. Okay, then I'll use what doesn't exist. That does exist, Victor. Here are conspiracies. Okay, I will use what does exist. This is an intelligent mind. This isn't a hard, fastened mind that can't look past what they're being told. And I was the same, so I'm not having a go. I'm putting myself in the lump, and I still put myself in the lump because I'm a human. I'm an idiot. We all are. Let's just admit it. We're stupid. We're dumb. We believe dumb shit. Mosquito repellent. Okay. So hedge fund traders, they can't put in all their money. They bought the outlets. Hedge fund traders, if you're just coming on, they can't put it, talking about fake news, hedge fund traders cannot put in all their money. So after COVID, they bought the outlets, a lot of the news outlets that went bankrupt or went out of business. And now they have a bigger platform. So they work on a larger scale, fake news. So what does that have to do with politics? I said earlier, outbreak in mosquitoes, mosquito repellent, that's tied to a company. All right. Now, hedge fund traders cannot also, after they bought in, because they need the volume to match what they bought into, to sell. So how are they going to sell? Excuse me. They have to assure it. So they have to pump it up more. Then the volume goes up. So now they can easily sell off their shares. They bite away at chunks at a time. They don't just sell all their shares. When you don't have enough, when you bought up a majority of the shares, let's say, and you don't have anyone to sell it to, you're known as what? A bag holder. You're holding the bag. So they sell off their shares, stock prices go down, and it leaves who? Bag holders in a different way. Bag holders that can't sell their shares because they bought in at $20 and now it's dropped to $10 because hedge fund traders sold off all their shares. This happens. Fox News is owned by leftists. And when you say, why are you having to go at leftists? Because of Keynesian economics. Keynesian economics. I'll do it again. Because Keynesian economics teaches how to think like a liquidator and a poker player. If I can't use this, I'll use this. If I can't use that, I'll use that. And I know that a majority of people have a bureaucratic and scientific mindset that are on this side because they're extremely intelligent. The problem is they're hard, just like I was, going at myself. I'm not extremely intelligent, however. They're hard fastened to A plus B equals C. This is science. What are you talking about? A plus B equals C. And how can you be saying that when there's social justice? How can A plus B equal non-social justice? They're utilizing social justice claims. And that doesn't make sense to me. How can A plus B equal non-social justice? They said they were socially just. They're standing, we have our fight for our right people with the signs, slowing down the supply chain. Not always. But they don't always. No, they don't. And they don't have to. They don't have to do anything. You just let people do what they want in preparation for something else or nothing at all, depending on how the market goes. We're looking at the market. We're not looking at a hard, fastened idea. We're looking at the ebb and flow of the market. And Keynesian economics allows that. Why? Because the reverse economics does not. This is the difference between crony capitalism and actual capitalism. The reverse of that looks at what? I have a widget, This widget needs to be valuable so the customer comes back. I have provided a service. I have taken the risk of the company. I've stayed up all night, sweating, wondering if this is going to work. I provide this service. It's one thing. Millions of things, it doesn't matter. Millions of things that are one thing. It's one thing that needs to work so that that customer will come back. The liquidator says, may work, may not, I don't care. I'll figure out how to offset my losses so that I can defer my taxes, so that when I defer my taxes, I can come back with, oh, okay, well, let's just use those capital, that capital that was deferred for more investment. So let's just make it just under the mark where we profited this year. Next year we'll profit because they figured out a larger capital gains that would benefit them versus the year prior, which we didn't have that many capital gains. It doesn't matter because our products shit the bed and this, that, and the other happened. Doesn't matter. Let's just defer our taxes, take those capital gains and move them somewhere else. They're able to move in Keynesian economics through liquidation, quantitative easing, quantitative tightening. They're able to kung fu the shit out of you. A hardcore capitalist cannot do that. In some ways, and they're not manipulative, because they're just, and so when the social justice warriors are out there fighting, they've already told people, the capitalists, crony capitalists, are telling everyone else that capitalism is evil so they can have an enemy to point to, so they can redirect the flow of traffic towards the enemy that they're in competition with and say, look at the bad guy. And then, I'm for social justice. AOC? Really? With your millions of dollars in the bank account? Yeah, oh, yeah. Taking a picture of yourself, crying about the people behind the gates, not the people behind the gates. You remember that? Take a picture. It's got to ring a bell. And it has to ring a bell further than I'm an idiot, you're smart, I'm smart, you're an idiot, I'm better than you, you're better than me. It has to ring an overall bell of both right and left being human beings that make mistakes, are not accepting complete debauchery and just do what, go and rob that old lady because it's okay because you're a victim, and is also not doing the other thing, whatever that other thing might be, where you're an idiot. How do you know about money? You don't have any money, from the capitalist moronic version, and become we are the world, we are the children, our children, a choice we're making, we'll say it all loud. The truth will make it better. Having a go. Cup of coffee. Late night. And I just let it have a go. Cheers. Oh, wait. Did I finish up what I was saying? Okay, so micro and macro. Penny stocks, hedge fund traders, they all play the same game. A majority of hedge fund traders vote left because left is primarily 100% Keynesian economics. Liquidation. Is right not? Rhino right? Okay, have a go. I don't care. Have a go at Rhino right. I'm not a right person. I don't care. Yeah, sure. Have a go at Fox for selling out. Yeah. Have a go at racists for being dumbasses for or have an understanding as to this is the individual. And don't even go into this full-blown judgment of the individual either. I've done that, and it's not a good thing to do. I feel bad about it. Like, Victor, why did you do that, man? Yeah, they've done some bad crap, and it doesn't mean that, whatever. But consider thyself, So, these are the lessons. And, all right. Cheers.